Hey, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com, and in this video we are going to review the Credit One American Express card. But before we do, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel right here if you have not already, and if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So the Credit One American Express card has been out for a while now, in fact, well over a year, I am pretty sure. And the reason I've never done a review on it in the past is because when it came out, I thought to myself, looks just like, pretty much any other Credit One credit card out there. It's for fair to bad credit customers and not a whole lot different than some other things that they are offering. But I have repeatedly had people ask me about the card over time. And I think the reason people ask is because that American Express name is attached to a Credit One credit card, and the American Express name sort of gives it a little extra luster, or at least people think it gives it a little extra luster. And so we are going to look a little closer at this card to see what the truth is. So we'll look at the features of this card in a second, but one thing I wanted to address right up front, and where I think there is some confusion sometimes, is the fact that this card is issued by Credit One. It is not an American Express card in the traditional sense. American Express is not issuing this card. If you get this card, you are not getting a foot in the door with American Express. You are not somehow an American Express customer in the way that, like, if you wanted an American Express card in the future, an American Express Gold card or a Blue Cash card or something like that, your odds of approval would not go up. American Express would not consider you a prior customer. In this case, all American Express is doing really is acting as a processor for these cards in the same way that MasterCard or Visa does. So if you think of a Credit One Visa or a Credit One MasterCard, think of a Credit One American Express card in the exact same way. American Express is only a partner on that processing end, and then there are a few extra benefits that come from American Express for Credit One customers, but this is not an American Express card. So the way it sort of used to work in the processing and card issuing world was that if you issued cards, you couldn't be a processor as well. So MasterCard and Visa were the processor partners, and American Express and Discover, they could issue cards, but they couldn't be a processor also. Well, somewhere along the line, I think there was somebody sued, American Express sued because they wanted to be a processor too, and somehow they then won and got to be a processor. But that sort of confused the issue for some people, because now American Express issues cards, but they can also be a processor. And in this case, with Credit One, they are a processor, not the issuer. So if you get this card, you do not have an in with American Express. So I may have belabored that point a little bit, but I really did want to drive that home in case there was any confusion. So let's look at the features of this card. Credit One American Express card, $39 annual fee. In terms of rewards, you get 1% cash back on all of your purchases with the card. You get that 1% cash back in the form of a statement credit. So they're going to figure out what that 1% is and subtract it from your balance each month. So that's how that happens. There is no bonus with this card. So sometimes cards have new cardholder bonuses. If you spend a certain amount in the first few months of having the card, you might get $100 or more. This card does not have that. Otherwise, really not a whole lot of perks with this card. 3% foreign transaction fee. You don't really have a whole lot else going on, although there are some things that are going to come from American Express. But as a basic card here, it's like a lot of other Credit One cards. It is aimed at a fair credit to bad credit customer. If I had to guess sort of what range we're talking about in terms of credit scores, probably between 600 and 650 are the people they are targeting with this card in terms of credit score. So not a whole lot different than a lot of what Credit One does. It's that American Express name that often makes people think it's something better than it is. Now, to be fair, there are some benefits and insurances on this card that you wouldn't normally see on a near-prime or subprime credit card, and those things do come from the partnership with American Express. So we're talking about things like travel accident insurance, there's some car rental insurances and discounts here, you've got extended warranty protection, you've got return protection, and then you also have access to Amex offers. And the access to Amex offers sometimes gets people excited about this card. If you don't know what Amex offers is, basically there are a bunch of discounts that are offered to you as an American Express card holder, in this case, since American Express has that partnership with Credit One. And what they do is they find different retailers, and those retailers will say, if one of your card holders comes and spends, $200 with us, we'll give them $25 back. So there's a list of offers, and they change over time, and there are, all kinds of different stuff that comes in here. In my opinion, a lot of these offers are from retailers that many of us don't shop with on a regular basis, and a lot of them are going to be high-end retailers that you're probably not going to want to spend a lot of money with, so I don't think a lot of them are really hugely worth it. And the Amex offers that you get from a Credit One American Express card, or from any card that American Express is sort of the processor on, tend to not be as good as the Amex offers that you get if you are using a card that is actually issued by American Express. So you have access to Amex offers, but you are getting a more limited list of Amex offers than you would otherwise. So you can go and look at the Amex offers that are these sort of partner offers with Credit One, and if you had an American Express card and you logged in and looked at your offers, you would see there are a lot more offers and probably a lot more attractive offers. Finally, let's look at the fees and rates. I've already said there's a $39 annual fee. The interest rate on this card, 23.99%, which is high, but not so out of whack with the rest of the credit card industry, and especially for fair credit or bad credit customers, not something completely unexpected. Now, this card does have a grace period, unlike some Credit One cards. So as long as you pay your balance off in full and on time every month, you'll never actually pay any interest. And so that interest rate won't even matter to you. And that should be everyone's strategy with their credit cards, to pay it off in full and on time. Now, this card could have a credit line of as low as $300, which won't make you super happy, especially on a card that you are paying $39 to get. Maybe you could get a higher credit line, but the fact that they're telling you that it starts at $300 means that a lot of people are getting that $300 credit line. So it depends on where you are coming from in terms of your credit history. The card does have a 3% foreign transaction fee. If you use it outside of the United States, you're going to get charged an extra 3% on those purchases. That is not something that is particularly out of whack with the rest of the credit card industry as well. Some cards have no foreign transaction fees, but many of them do charge a 3% fee. So overall, I think this is an okay card for people with lower credit scores. There's nothing that's going to jump out and make you say, boy, I got to get my hands on this card, but it is okay. It is not terrible with the annual fee. It's not terrible with the interest rate. And you do have a little bit of extra here with that American Express partnership. Now, for me, I don't think most people use very often the benefits that are coming with that American Express partnership. I don't think the extended warranty comes into play that often, or these return protections, or the travel accident insurance. Some people do use them, and for some people that is very attractive, but most people really don't ever even touch those things. So if they're attractive to you, maybe this card is a little better than some of the other options out there on the market, but as far as I'm concerned, not a whole lot. So there's another card out there on the market that I think is a very good comparison card with this card, and that is the Capital One Quicksilver One card. Targets pretty much the same customer in terms of credit history, credit score. That card, $39 annual fee, same as the Credit One American Express card. In terms of rewards, 1.5% cash back on everything that you buy with the card versus the 1% on the Credit One card. Higher interest rate at 26.99% as I make this video versus the 23.99% on the Credit One card. It is also going to start you with a lower credit line in many cases, so that $300 potential starting line is probably going to be about the same for the Capital One Quicksilver One. Now, you don't have with Capital One some of those extra protections and things that come with the Amex relationship with Credit One. So you don't have any sort of, return protections or travel accident insurance. You don't have Amex offers, any of those things that I talked about there. The card does not have any foreign transaction fees, so that is another place where it would outshine the Credit One American Express card. But if you look at those two cards versus each other, you could make a case for either one of them as a potential card holder. Now, the 1.5% is better than 1% in terms of a reward, but unless you're really going to spend a lot with the card, which most people aren't going to be able to because you're not going to get a super high credit line, that's not going to make a whole lot of difference. A 0.5% in rewards is only going to be an extra $5 on every $1,000 that you spend with the card. So if you can't spend a ton with the card, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference whether you've got 1.5% or 1%. Sure, every dollar that you get extra is good, but it's not going to be huge for most people. So you would kind of have to make the choice there, which of those makes sense. Are you ever going to use those extra benefits from the Credit One American Express? If so, maybe that is the better card for you. If you would just rather have the 1.5% than the 1% that the Capital One card has, maybe that is the better card for you. For me, I'm probably going to go Capital One just because they are the bigger bank and I feel maybe a little more trusting of Capital One than Credit One. But for some people, if they chose the Credit One American Express versus that card, that would make sense to me. So that is it. Credit One American Express card, not a great card by any means. The Amex relationship gives you a little bit extra if those are things that you would ever actually use. But just remember, getting this card is not a foot in the door with American Express. It is not going to increase your chances of getting approved for any card that American Express actually issues itself. Questions, comments, I'd love to hear those in that comment section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. And as always, please go to proudmoney.com where we do credit card reviews and we talk personal finance, we talk deals and all sorts of other fun stuff too. Thanks for watching. Bye.